One of the questions that people ask me over and over and over again is, can I give something away and still protect it? And what they usually mean when somebody asks me that is, can I give money to a child or to a grandchild and be certain that it's not going to be taken away if they get married and divorced, or if they're in a very risky job, or if they're in a car accident and get sued? And the answer is yes, there is a way to do that, but you can't give the money outright and do it. So you have a choice. You could give money or assets outright to a child or grandchild, then you run the risk that they'll get married and divorced and somebody might make a claim on that. You run the risk that they're an OB/GYN doctor in Pennsylvania and get sued. You run the risk that they're in a car accident and get sued. So there's a lot of risks associated with giving people money outright. There's the obvious benefit. There's no costs of having a trust. It's simple, it's easy. And also the child, if they have a prenuptial agreement, can control some of that risk. And if they keep the assets in their own names, they can control some of that risk. That's not enough for a lot of clients, and a lot of families that have very sophisticated estate planning needs want to know, what are my alternatives? Well, one of the alternatives is to do something called a beneficiary controlled trust, so that either during your lifetime, if you're making a gift, or when you pass away, some or all of the inheritance goes into a trust. Then the question becomes, how much control can I give my child without jeopardizing the creditor protection? Here's what I mean by that. If we give the child complete control, it's really their money, and if they get sued, it could be taken away from them. If they get divorced, it might be able to be taken away. We can make the child a trustee of their own trust, so they have a lot of responsibility. We can give them an independent trustee. We could give them the power to fire the independent trustee. We could give them the power to invest in assets such as shore homes, the things that they might want to use. So we could build in a lot of flexibility. But there's a downside. They've got to keep trust accounting records, and they've got to file a 1041 trust income tax return each year. So we always have to weigh these things. And what some clients end up doing is they give part of the inheritance outright to the child, and it's their job to protect it. And part of it, a safety net, goes into a trust like this with more or less protection and more or less control. Usually it works like this. The more control, the less protection. The less control, the greater the protection. These are the sorts of issues that are involved in sophisticated estate planning, and they're worth it if you have large amount of family wealth you want to protect, or you've had a child go through a divorce and lose all the assets, and you've seen that during your lifetime, and you don't want that to happen with your inheritance. So those are the sorts of sophisticated estate planning techniques that can be used to protect children, and they're worth talking about with your advisor. Thank you. If you liked that video, if you enjoyed it, if you found value in it, if it gave you information you didn't know about before, then you're going to want to see the other videos. We have some of the most frequently asked questions that clients ask lawyers on the topic of sophisticated estate planning and estate planning for families that have family-owned businesses and family-owned vacation homes. If you'd like a lot more, including the questions that you should be asking and maybe don't even know to ask, but that we as lawyers know you should be asking, then just sign up, click on the link below, and we're going to send you a ton more videos. Frequently asked questions that you need to know the answers to succeed as a family in your sophisticated estate planning. And maybe more importantly, the should ask questions, the questions that you don't even know that you should be asking. Thanks again. Click on that link and enjoy.